In an African heartland, people and wildlife live side by side, and the needs of both are balanced. In an African heartland, AWF staff works with local stakeholders to create conservation strategies that benefit all. In an African heartland, the future of Africa, its wildlife, habitat, and people will be secured. The result? Vast landscapes that function both ecologically and economically. A vision big enough for Africa. All of Africa's lands sustain life, but certain key landscapes are absolutely essential to conservation, thanks to their unmatched concentrations of wildlife. Far larger than any park or reserve, Africa's heartlands combine national parks and local villages, government lands and private lands into large, cohesive conservation landscapes that often span national boundaries. Africa's wildlife species are adapted to diverse climates and terrains, so AWF invests in conservation science in each heartland. All of our work is based on the latest scientific information and designed for the greatest effectiveness. AWF's commitment is to ensure that Africa's wildlife endures forever. With your conservation help, AWF will save endangered rhinos, protect Africa's great apes, the mountain gorilla, and bonobo, and conserve Africa's elephants, lions, leopards, and wild dogs. In Africa's heartlands, wildlife will have vast, unfettered wildlands to live, to move, to propagate. AWF is working to create large-scale landscapes capable of sustaining wildlife. AWF's commitment is to save Africa's last great landscapes. With help from you and other conservationists, AWF will establish private land trusts, create land corridors linking critical habitats, support existing parks, and create new ones. When communities in and around large landscapes are poor, even the best managed landscapes suffer creeping degradation. However, conservation becomes a priority when AWF shows local people that conserving wildlife can create prosperity through locally owned businesses. AWF's commitment is to promote businesses that protect wildlife, even as they employ and empower people. With your support, AWF will help rural communities build conservation-based businesses that provide direct economic benefits from wildlife conservation. Plus, we will educate local leaders to monitor natural resource use in the present to assure resource availability in the future. Among Africa's children of today are the conservation leaders of tomorrow. From day one, AWF has invested in educating African citizens to take the lead in conserving their own natural heritage, for themselves, their children, and their children's children. AWF's commitment is to develop conservation leaders. With your help, AWF will recruit and support innovative conservation leaders and provide scholarships to outstanding African graduate degree candidates in the conservation sciences. In July 2004, AWF's Board of Trustees launched the Campaign to Save Africa's Heartlands, AWF's 5-year goal, to raise $100 million and double our work for wildlife on the ground in Africa. The monies raised will go to support what we call the 4 pillars of conservation for each heartland. Protecting land, $40 million. Conserving wildlife, $40 million. Creating enterprises, $10 million. Empowering people, $10 million. AWF's Board of Trustees took AWF's Campaign to Save Africa's Heartlands public in July 2006. A total of $58 million have been pledged by June 30, 2007. Now, to meet our visionary goals, AWF must raise $7 million more from individual members and supporters like you. Will you be part of our success? From our members and supporters, we must raise a total of $15 million. We have $7 million more to go.
Since 1961, African Wildlife Foundation has been the leading conservation organization working solely on the continent of Africa. We've made remarkable progress, but I'm convinced that our greatest celebrations lie ahead. We're in the final 2 years of a visionary campaign, our Campaign to Save Africa's Heartlands. Our goal is to expand conservation efforts in Africa by 50%. To do that, we need to raise $100 million total. $65 million from individuals, corporations, and private foundations, and $35 million from public sources. In the next 2 years, we must raise $7 million from members and supporters like you. Today, I urge you to join me in supporting AWF's campaign to save Africa's heartlands by making the most generous donation within your means. Members of the board and I will match your campaign contribution dollar for dollar, so your donation will go twice as far toward our $100 million goal. Imagine how much we can accomplish together. Every gift matters, and there's no better way that you can have more impact and do more good to ensure the survival of Africa's wildlife and the prosperity of its people. Please help us today.